So it is 2:15-ish in the morning. You can't really see me, but I don't want to turn the light on because I don't want to wake up more than I already am. I have a couple things to talk about since it's been a little while. Does this have a flash on it kind of thing? I don't know. Anyway. So if I go closer to the TV, I'll turn it on and I will put the volume down. I am watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. No, just Queer Eye. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was like years ago. Where's the volume on this thing? I'm not wearing my glasses. Okay. Maybe that'll help. I'll go closer to the TV. Alright, so I'm being quiet because I got my, not because I cut my hair, but I got my hair cut again. I'm preferring the way it looks now. Anyway, I'm at my parents' house. We've done the move. I don't even know if I haven't done one of these since the move, so there are going to be a few coming up to talk about everything that went on. But right now, I'm just going to talk about stuff from today. So number one was, I'm not even going to go into a whole boring story, but I was with customer service on Xfinity forever. And like the problem that I thought was the problem ended up not being the problem. It was something completely different. I mean, it was still with the company, Xfinity or Comcast or whatever. But anyway, the point of me telling you this is because like the amount of frustration that I experienced was so uncomfortable. Like I was, that voice that comes on. Does anybody out there remember when people answered the phone? I mean, I get that you have to pay those people a living wage for them to be there, but it's so much more pleasant than like trying to get through to this system. I just want to know you talk to a customer service representative, and I was like not yelling, but speaking very sharply to the robot voice. I was not happy with the robot voice, and she was basically like, "Okay, goodbye." Just like, oh my god. And the point is the feeling of frustration was a little overwhelming, and I was trying not to get lost in it. But it was really hard, and I was noticing that, which is an improvement. But in addition, I was working on relaxing, even though I was feeling it, and just noticing it rather than getting lost in it. And while I could do that a little bit, it was exhausting. And you know what? It's supposed to be easier than actually feeling it. So I was caught somewhere in the middle, and that frustrated me more. But I relaxed and I allowed myself to feel it. And you know what? I calmed down. I'm thinking about it now. It's like, you know what? I did. And I kind of realized it as things went on. For like 2.5 hours. The 2.5 hours I was trying to do this. I eventually calmed down and was just working the problem. Which is a great concept that I got from the movie The Martian. There's something about like space movies that I love. And don't need to go down that road. So there was that irritation, and I was able to relax and release. But in the moment, it was very hard to do, and I had to keep at it. Like, it doesn't just happen, especially when you're learning. And, you know, it's like I already thought that I learned, but it's something that you have to practice, and your understanding and ability of it deepens, but you have to practice, and I've been out of practice for doing it. So, I'm gonna start listening to, the thing is, when I first started doing all this, I was listening to Michael Singer like hours every day. I need to start doing that again to keep the principles in my head. Although I've started praying again in the morning and the evening. And while I mean, the prayer that I've done for you guys, I showed you, like I've kind of gone through it a couple of times. It's kind of long, and I don't always get through it all the way. Either I fall asleep because if I'm lying in bed, or I get distracted. I try to finish it, and most times I do, but sometimes it's just like squirrel. But I need to work on my connection to the divine, because the divine is all around us. We are the divine, and the energy. I'm so grateful that I'm allowed the gift to see this energy. But again, it's something you need to use. Like, I stopped noticing it. And when I go back to trying to see it, it's like a muscle that you have to build. So I'm going to work on building that muscle. So that's something too that I think is important to remember, that any new skill requires practice and tenacity, determination and sticking to it. Stick-to-itiveness, as they say. Sorry, I'm yawning so much that my eyes are watering. Oh, goodness. So I'm finding it difficult. So I moved, and I'll talk more about the move later. But because I was in the place that I was in, and I've been wanting to move for a long time, but I haven't had the money for a deposit. Or the other thing is, like, if I were a landlord, I wouldn't rent to me, because I don't have a steady income. I don't have a great track record my credit's not actually that bad. I thought it was gonna be like 300, but it's like 640, which isn't great, but it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And not to plug them, but I think most of it is because of American Consumer Credit Counseling, because I'm in a program that kind of consolidated my debt, and it comes out every month, and I'm on time. But anyway, and that's with a bankruptcy and a repossession on my account, on my, record. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. Point being, I'm not a great prospective tenant because no income, not the great credit. I don't have a cosigner, which I wouldn't cosign for me either, to be quite honest. So the plan is to stay at my parents' while I put together $10,000. And when I do that, I can go to auctions and buy a multifamily from an auction, hopefully in Boston. JP area would be even better. And the $10,000 obviously isn't going to cover the entire house, but it's kind of an earnest money deposit that I can put down the day of that I win the auction, and then find the funding in the next, the following days, and then move there. That's a lot to do in a few months, but I am doing it. I keep it in mind, and I'm doing it. I'm going to earn that money. I'm going to put it away. I'm going to find that house. I'm going to buy it and find the funding and then move into it in the next 3 months. That's the goal. I told my parents 3 months, and my mom's been talking about 1 month. I'm like, that's probably not gonna happen. I mean, I can try, but now that I'm here, it's really, I mean, I don't have my own space. I don't want to complain. Let's start with gratitude. I have a place to live, and I have people who support me, and people who care, and I have a dishwasher, which is a big deal for me. Like a big deal, and a nice washer dryer situation as opposed to the old one. The place is nice. It's immaculate. It's beautiful. It always smells good. Everything's clean. So that's really nice. It's an improvement. You know, on the flip side, I don't have a vehicle. So I'm in the middle of the woods, basically. I'm in a town in Massachusetts that's kind of out in the boonies. And there's nothing within walkable distance. And I don't have a vehicle. And I don't have a space of my own. No privacy. No independence. Those are the two big things. But I am here for my good. And I am here to learn something. And what I've been thinking about at 2 o'clock in the morning is the idea that, like, okay, so I'm watching Queer Eye because I really love this show. Not only because of the 5 guys that are just awesome, but also because it makes the person who they're doing the makeover to so happy. And then that makes them happy. It's just a happy, I feel authentic show. Maybe other people feel differently, but I think it's really authentic. And people are just, like, honestly, authentically happy. And I'm watching it, and I just, like, it makes me cry. I cry so easily. We all know this. And, excuse me. And I'm realizing, like, as I'm sitting here watching this, that, like, okay, yeah, being sad is nothing new for me. And being sad even while I'm happy is nothing new for me. What is, I mean, not new, but I'm more aware of, and has deepened, is this feeling of, like, my anger feelings. And this energy that just, I think what I need to do, honestly, is exercise more, but I can't get to the damn gym because I don't have a vehicle. And now that I live, let's just say I don't have a vehicle, and I can't use my parents. So I can't get to the gym. So I can do some, like, yoga and go for a walk around. It's a retirement community, so I can go walk from, around here, but it's not really exercise. And I just want to get on the treadmill. But anyway, we're going to have some really interesting conversation with Robin Thomas tomorrow when we do Untethered Talk with Robin and Jen, which normally happens at 2 o'clock. It's going to be a little bit late tomorrow. It's going to be like 2:15. Please watch, because there's a lot that we're going to talk about that has to do with the chakra class we had this week. There's a lot that we talked about that I think we need to bring to everyone else's awareness. But I've been trying to think, like, where has this come from? When did I start feeling a deeper anger and resentment? Because that's not usually my MO. Like, anger and resentment, sure, you feel them. But I know that my natural, like, my spirit without anything on top of it is like this ebullient, joyful spirit that likes to spread peace and love and fun to everyone. But I haven't been feeling like that. Like, I know that I know because of my behavior and what people have said about me in the past, is that I have this open heart, and that I make people feel good, and that my presence is very palpable, and that I'm charismatic, and that the love that comes off of me is, I'm warm, and the love that comes off of me makes other people feel like I can make them feel that love. It just naturally, people feel it, but I haven't been feeling that way for a long time, like a good year, maybe a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half, maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to pinpoint what exactly it is or when exactly this happened. And I'm thinking, like, was it when Abram and I broke up? And I was so, not only sad, but also obviously hurt and a bit angry, to be frank, because the reason we broke up, and not to belabor upon, was not because we didn't love each other. We actually really did love each other and wanted to get married, but he's from Egypt, and his culture is very tied to their family, which is a wonderful thing. But his mother, her love was very conditional, and he had to marry someone other than me. Let's just put it that way. In order to keep his family. So that's what happened there, and he's married now, and I don't know if he's happy, but I know that he's happy, and I'm happy for him, because I want him to be happy. But, for me, it makes me sad and angry and hurt, because, in our culture, that is wrong. It's a wrong thing, like parents telling children who to marry, who they can and can't marry. Like, he was always like, she wants me to be happy. And I was always like, yeah, she wants you to be happy, but only in the way that she wants you to be happy. She doesn't want you to be happy in the way that you want to be happy. He's like, yeah. And it's like, well, that's not really love, but okay. That's control. But you know what? I never met her, and that's really me speaking from a different point of view. So I don't know what happens there. Regardless, let's put that down. The reason I brought that up is because, like, I'm trying to think, is that where this feeling of anger and resentment and just like came from? Or is it because I was living in this household? Because this is, I'd say, like, well, at least I'm out of a household where there was just so much anger and so much, really just so much anger and so much resentment, between the two people I was living with, a married couple who were just, it was a bad situation, it's just, I'm not going to go into it. If you want to know more about it, watch other videos, but it was just a lot. That energy was just disgusting, to be quite honest with you. And I had a lot of anger, not just because of the energy that was going on, but also because of certain acts or lack of action that caused me to lose my house, for example, on the part of my housemates. But obviously, like, it happened for a reason. It happened for me, not to me. And I need to learn my lesson. I'm going to learn the lesson that it's going to teach. I'm not sure what that is yet. But my feeling is, well, not my feeling, but I was talking to Robin about it, and at the chakra class, which is something we're going to talk about tomorrow. But the idea here is that I'm back in my family, and I need to rebuild my first chakra. And start there and rebuild the rest of them. But the first chakra is about family. It's about roots. It's about safety. It's about the physical world. It's like the pentacles in the tarot deck, except it's not about money necessarily. It's about safety and security, and earthly things. And it's the chakra, the first chakra that forms, and it's like between 1 and 6 months. So, you know, it's like the feelings that a baby has, of safety and stuff like that. Well, it's just a different thing that we can talk about some other time. But, so there's that, and I want to work on that, but I want to get rid of this feeling of gunk. Like, I can feel the energy inside of me that's not mine, but I can't seem to let go of. Which is why I think exercise and stretching and yoga will help, because it's definitely tied to the tension in my muscles. I can't seem to let this tension go. It just comes, you know, tenses right back up when I release it. So all the energy just comes back in that I'm releasing. And that's another thing, like I need to pay more attention to that energy and work on it. But I really think that the only way I'm going to do it is by exercise and stretching. And I can't get enough exercise here. I can get enough exercise here. I just have to put in extra effort. And everything right now is an extra effort. But anyway, so that's my thing. So to wrap up, work at being aware of and falling behind emotions and observing them but not being lost in them takes practice, like anything else. And I've got this feeling of grossness that I am going to work on getting rid of, and I will report to you as it happens, and I'll tell you what I'm doing to better myself, to improve. So just like every other thing, you know, I'm gonna repeat what this is all about. You know, I'm doing these videos, I'm doing them because I'm holding myself up as a case study of sorry, my father just made a loud noise downstairs. The case study of how you can react to your emotions and your thoughts differently. Because, like, if you have a mood disorder, but really, if you're anybody and you want to handle you want to be happier, you want to improve yourself, and you want to handle your thoughts and emotions in a different way. But I'm especially reaching out to other people who have mood disorders, because there is a different way, even if you believe there's not. And I'm here to show you how I'm doing it and hopefully inspire you to do it for yourselves and find your own way. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. So I'm going to remind you guys that you can always choose to have a grateful early morning, middle of the night.